Hey guys, Fist of Fury here. Sorry I wasn't on for last week. I've been really sick. Almost close to death. And you're probably wondering, wait, what? When did this happen? What the fuck? I mean, you just probably look on the thing like, oh my god, are you alright, Fury? Well, since you're watching this, I'll explain it really quick what happened. If I could move my chair up. I'm not doing any editing in this because my arms are aching, everything's aching. I just want to post to you guys what the heck happened. So let me just sit back and relax for a little bit and then I'll tell you. Okay, like I said in the last video, I was working on the nameless video, basically. When I made my word and I was going to do it. I was almost done with it. And then at the second act of it, I got sick. I got really sick out of nowhere. I was vomiting and all that every 4 hours. So it was like, okay, I got the bug. Obviously, this was going around. I already know by rumors and stuff from other people around the other places. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's a bug. And basically, I spent the last day resting, obviously throwing up, as you do when you have a bug, and drinking a lot of fluids and keeping it in me. Everything was going fine. Then, the next day, I believe it was Monday. Monday of I think the 26th. Yeah, because on the 27th, 26th of March. I basically was doing a lot better. I couldn't eat much because I thought, okay, this is the after effect now. I was basically done. I was gonna neaten up some places, do some patches on the editing, and then pretty much got it ready to be ready. But I didn't have the strength, so I was like, I'll just sit here, drink, watch some TV, and just wait. Sorry, I'll explain why I'm going bleh all the time with my throat in a minute. But what happened was, when I was going to bed and thought the worst was done, at 2 o'clock in the morning on March 27th, I got really sick. To the point I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was throwing up non-constantly. Now let me explain to you guys. It was 2 in the morning, and I was throwing up all the way up to 9 every half an hour. So every half an hour I was throwing up. And right there I should have known that there was something wrong with me. But at the same time I'm like, okay, maybe the bug is going through its last metaphase. Maybe it's like, okay, this is the last of it. Get it out. And then what happened was I noticed acid in my thing. Now, if you don't know in medical terms, when you start seeing acid in your throat, that means you don't have any fluids. Which means every time when I was trying to drink water to replace all that dehydration coming out of me, it spewed it back out. Like it would not let it come out. So it was acid upon acid and then acid just pouring out of my throat, burning sensation. And then when it was 9 o'clock in the morning, it was like, and the reason why I waited so long is because, one, I thought it was the bug, but when I saw the acid came out immediately after that, I'm like, okay, I need to go. I needed to go to the hospital. And before I tried to even walk out the door, my lips were dry as heck. I couldn't even move. I couldn't even talk well. I couldn't even focus. So I had people help me to the car, and basically they drove me to the hospital, and I had to wait in that damn emergency room. Now, if you don't know the emergency room, they take forever to patch you in. You could be on your death sentence and they'll make you wait. And it's like, I was in no mood of waiting. I was beyond weak, beyond what the fuck was going on. And I was like literally giving them the devil eye and pretty much about to demand where the frig it was. And then finally they put me in. So they put me in, and I was dumb, but I was dehydrated. I wanted to get some water, and I got water, and I drank it, and then all of a sudden, a few minutes later, I spewed it back up again with acid in it. And the doctor noticed immediately, saying like, you should no more drinking water. And he's like, why? I'm like, because you're doing like acid reflux bug syndrome with chemo. Now, if you don't know what that is, that means my chemo, because I am a diabetic. I'll show you my bracelet. I think I'll show it up to here. Like, I don't know if you can see it well, but there's the American cross, and on the back of it, it says, oh shit, there we go. Like, type 1 diabetic. I know you can't hardly see it because of the camera quality. And chemos out of nowhere attacked my body, and this was strange because out of the so many years of my life, I've taken care of it pretty well because I was born with diabetes, and out of nowhere, it was just as attacking it. It was like combined with the bug and that, making my life miserable. So they said we had to put IVs in you, and I was beyond dehydrated, and the doctor said you were lucky to get in here because this is like, you could have went in a coma and died. Now, for those that don't know medical terms, I'll give you a scale. Like 5 is average, like the middle of the average. That's what you want to be. 0 is overflowing with water. You have to like drain it out of you immediately before drowning. 10 is dehydration and a few seconds away from death. I was at 9. Basically what they've been describing me, I was at 9. I was literally so dehydrated that I was about to, die. Like, if I didn't get any help soon, which I didn't know because I thought I had the bug. Shocked me, shocked my partner, and it was just like, what the fuck? What happened to this? So they immediately put IV in my tube, which I fucking hate, but we'll get to that in a minute. And they pumped fluid into me, and I was there just going like, because the pain in my stomach was still there, and I literally asked the nurse, can you please give me fucking something to ease this pain? Because what happened was, it was the acid inside my stomach that I've been spewing out has been bubbling inside of me, so it was like, oh my god, please calm it the fuck down. Because they gave me a medicine to prevent me from throwing up a little bit that day, so that way I wouldn't spew any of the liquid going in the IV, because they didn't know how badly it was. So they gave me that to stop me from throwing up. But at the same time, I was just like, oh god, please kill me. I literally wanted to die that day. I was like, oh my god, I can't imagine no one going through this. It's like when you have chemos and a bug and a virus going in you at the same time, it is the worst thing you can ever do to a human being. But anyway, so they brought me in upstairs after fucking 2 hours. I was down there with the HIV begging for things, but they like, oh, we won't give it to you until you go into the actual room you're going in. Yeah, 2 hours later, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I get it, it's a medical field and you have to prepare for these things, but when you're, goddamn it, when you're about to like go in the 10th stage, which is like you need desperate medical help, it's like, god damn it, pull your head out of your ass and get me in there, because I don't want to go yet. I have a lot of things to do, and I have a lot of people I love. I have you guys I love. I don't want to lose you guys, so I want to make sure. I wanted to get back on my feet, but it was a long haul. On the first day, pretty much when they hooked me up to the machine, I had heart. I wish I could have showed you the picture because I did have my laptop with me, what I was going through, but I'll show you the scars real quick. I'll show you real quick. Like, I don't know how the camera quality works. There's a blood vine there, there's a blood vine there, and I don't know if you could see this really well, but right here, I don't know if the camera quality is not going to show it well, but right here I had a HIV. They had to like put like so many HIVs in me. That's how desperate I was getting. Then they had to put one, hang on, let me give you a better visual, here, here, like basically trying to pump the fluid. Oh wait, no, this one's not. Where did they put this one? Because they did spare me one arm just in case they wanted to draw blood, which that's another topic. And then here on my arm. So basically I was hooked up like a computer. Everything was hooked into me. Insulin shots, all that, and bunch of water just pumping into me to make sure everything just dies down. Now on the first day, oh my god, the blood draws. Like literally, on the first day I came in, it's like, okay, they had to do vials. They had to do 8 of them. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a normal blood draw. 2 hours later, we got to do 8 again. Okay. 2 hours later, we have to do 5 of them. Then you just got the 8 from the last one? I get it what they're doing. They're checking my keynotes and stuff like that and going through it and watching it. But at the same time, it's like, oh God, please. Like, I literally, no joke, out of the whole time I was over there, they probably took 50 vials of me in less than 3 days. That's how, like, blood they took out of me. Then they had the IVs and stuff like that. I put into a nice big room with a bed, but the bed, and then a TV in front of me, and then pretty much my friend was right there next to me, and then my girl came in, and then basically we sat together, and she was in tears, and holding her hand and stuff. I literally thought I was going to be done. I literally thought I was done, because honestly, when you're that dehydrated, it's like you might as well be done, because if you're throwing up your own dehydration, you know you're going to die, like something like that. That's usually how old folks do it a little bit. So we both sat there. She never left my side. And basically, doctor came in telling me the procedures that had to be done. Like, they're going to be checking on me every hour, which they did. Every time they come in, they check my blood sugar every hour. Couldn't get no sleep on the first day. Like, that's a given. I mean, because of not this pain. And then they finally gave me a vaccine that went into the IV to finally kill some of the acid in my stomach. And I'm like, thank you. And for once, I actually sat back and breathed. After 2 o'clock in the nighttime morning of March 27th, up until nearly, no joke, noon, I finally breathe easily. But I was not out of the woods, obviously. There was no way. They told me I was going to be there on watch for 24 hours. So that means 2 days in the hospital. Now, you got to know me too well. I don't sit very easily. I'm usually one of those people that like to get up, move around, and pretty much, because I'm like, how do I explain this? I'm like anal at sitting in one area and then staying in one area. It's not me. Unless I'm doing videos or work or talking to you guys directly on this camera, I can't sit anywhere for 5 minutes. Even when I'm laying in bed, I'm tossing and turning and tossing and turning until I sleep. Well, you can't do that when you have so many IVs, because you got IVs here, and they tell you got to keep your arms straight, otherwise your thing. So I'm basically like this in the hospital, and the only thing I can turn is my head, and you can see right there, my back, my neck was fucking killing me, and it was just like, oh my God, it's like, really? And then I was watching TV, I was watching, what was I was watching? I was watching Star Trek. I mean, yeah, you can call me a nerd, but when I was a kid at 6 years old, that was the thing I watched before I went to school. And it wasn't the old Star Trek, it was the Star Trek New Generation, so it was something to watch. I mean, they didn't have many channels. I mean, it was that between cooking shows, which I did not want to see no food on the first fucking day, and it was just me and my girl just sitting there. She spent the night with me one night, and basically she was sleeping on a little bed thing, and I'm there trying to struggle to sleep and all that. It was just, I couldn't wish what I went through on anyone, really. Not even on an enemy. Hell, not even on Hitler. And he deserves to be punished. So it was like that. On the second day, I got a little bit better. I got the thing in me, still in me. There was no IVs coming out. Oh yeah, there was one more thing on me. I had that blood pressure reading. That thing where it just breathes up and then it tightens your muscles and then it just goes down because it tests your thing. Oh my god. When I was sleeping, when I finally went to sleep, that fucking machine does it every 5 hours. So when I finally went to sleep, I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, I went to sleep finally. What the fuck is this? And then when I finally do went to sleep, oh, hi, I need to do your blood drawn. Or, oh, hi, I need to do your finger stick. I'm like, do you see the lights off? The monitor says I'm okay. And I get it. I'm not trying to be mean, but I was just beyond. I got the German out of me. I didn't say it, but I wanted to. But I wanted to desperately speak like a German right there. The German typical trope where they're like, angry sometimes when they get aggravated. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do so fucking badly because I was like, because I didn't sleep in the hospital. Didn't even sleep for 2 days straight. And so, yeah. The next day, I've been eating a little bit less because I had, chicken broth and apple juice and what was the other one? Jello and stuff. All I ate was just a little teaspoons of the chicken broth and basically the Jello, which was a good start. Which was a very good start. Not the best start, but it was a good start. And they basically came in, explained more of the situation that my chemotes are dying down. So I was looking at relief. I really wanted to do a video in the hospital to show you how much wiring and stuff. Oh yeah, there was one more wiring. Sorry, I keep on forgetting the wirings because I really wanted to get them out of my head. But I wanted to tell you how much misery I went through. I had a heart circle disc all around me. Now, if you don't know me, I have some chest hair. So when you got those sticky things on you, they come off a little bit because they don't read it, and they're like, oh, your heart meter seems to be dinging a lot. You don't have it on right. I'm like, no, that's because of the hair that's on it that's pulling it off the skin a little bit. And don't get me started when you're finally done and they rip them off. Ugh, I lost a good chunk of my chest hair. There's probably like the alien ring on my fucking chest now. Those little signs in the cornfield. Yeah, it's on my chest now. Yeah. So, anyway, back to the topic. And basically, same old day. The acid was dying down immediately, and then I was going in the second stage of recovery, the hunger stage. See, I haven't ate anything since I was sick the first time, and that was on a Saturday. This was on a fucking Wednesday. I haven't ate anything up to that point. And when you have like acid in your stomach, because when you throw up so many times, your stomach blows out. And every time you throw up, it blows out. So it was going back to shrinking where it was. But in the meantime, you can't really eat anything because when you eat something, you get gas, you get the acid a little bit in you and all that. So it's like, at the same time, I ate pretty good for halfway. I ate like, what was my breakfast? I don't want to explain every food, but I'm just saying like, my breakfast was, what was it? Well, it was the same thing. They gave me chicken broth again because they were too afraid to give me any nutritious values because they think the carbonized in some food will disrupt some stuff. It's something like they said like that. I don't really mind paying attention to it, which chicken broth was not bad. But it's just basically chicken in a soup. It's just water, grease kind of thing, but it works out. But at the same time, it's like after I finished, like there's this bowl, and it went down to here. Stomach couldn't take it. I literally almost wanted to throw the thing out. And then, basically, I ate less and less, but I ate a lot for breakfast, and then I ate average at lunch, and then I ate hardly nothing for dinner. But the doctor says that was a good sign because, well, pretty much that's the road of recovery because you're eating a lot more than you did yesterday. So basically, after another night there, they didn't disturb me. And they removed one of my IVs because I was turning back to my regular skin color. Because when I went in there, I was pure fucking white. Like, literally snowy white. That's how, like, I was at. And my peach was coming back. Everything was coming back. So they removed one of the IVs in this arm. But I really wish they removed it on this arm. But that's where the fluids were going. They only removed the shot one because they want me to get tolerated with my insulin. And ever since they removed that and stuff like that, I've been getting a lot of gas because the water pumped into me. So gas is like fluctuating out of it, and plus the acid's dying, so it's like empty space that's going poof, poof, poof in my stomach. And basically, and I forgot to tell them because I usually like to sleep like this on a bed. I never like sleeping like this on the bed. Yeah, see, you could tell where I slept most of the time. And then their beds are not comfortable. Their beds are not comfortable. But it was just, then, so when you have that IV in you, you got to keep that arm straight. You could turn it like this a little bit, but you can't bend it because there's a little tube thing. If it pinches something, you're gonna feel it. And not to mention, you can't bend it because it won't get the fluids in, and you're gonna suffocate yourself. So you have to keep it like this the whole entire time. I swear to God, in the next couple of weeks, now I'm home, I'm gonna be just doing this. I look like I'm making a fist at somebody, but they don't know what I went through. It's like, it's like my salute. It's like, but anyway. So the second night I get no sleep either because this was another thing. I get easily woken up too. So when the heart, because that's usually a good trait, because if anyone breaks into my house or something like that, I'm immediately awake because it's like usually one little sound I'll wake up. I know it sounds bad, but believe me, it's a good trait if you got people you love and stuff in your life, pretty much. And when the problem was the heart meter beeps when you move it just right. Because when I'm sleeping like this, my cords were like here, 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 here. So I'm pulling on it, and then the thing beeps behind me. So I'm like, fuck. And then I have to lay back like this. But then if I don't keep my arm like this, like this on the bed, that thing beeps. And I'm like, so basically I've been all night going back and forth, back and forth. They basically wanted me to lay like a fucking zombie or a fucking corpse laying in bed. And if I ever knew what a corpse feels like when they're in a coffin, I think I finally knew what they feel like now. Ugh, stiff and pain. But after today, this is like, what, Thursday now? They announced that I can leave now because I was finally glad, and I was like, oh, thank you, God. But they didn't want to remove the IV until I was about to leave, so they were packing all my things ready, packing all this. Now, I also had a beard and stuff like that because I didn't shave for 5 days. I wish I could have showed you that because this facial hair I have right here, it's just a custom made I did, but I actually have a mountain man beard, like one of those German Prussian beards kind of way back in World War I. But I didn't want that design. I wanted to have like the gentleman kind of suave look. And so when they took all that out of me, I felt like I was in heaven because the tubes were out of me. The heart chest, which was a pain in the ass because, like I said, I ripped it off, hair flew off. It's like, God damn it. But I didn't care. I was like, I was going home. And they wheeled me downstairs, put me in a van. I came home. My dogs, my cats all ran up to the door. They basically tackled the heck out of me.
Oh man, it's like they were more mad at me for being long gone for freaking so many 3 days in the hospital. I know it doesn't seem like a lot. I know a lot of people have gone through a lot, which I God bless you if you do. But just being stiff in those uncomfortable beds and just have to keep still, it's painful, really painful. So I came home. I pretty much got in the shower. I pretty much washed myself up, shaved, pretty much did my hair a little bit, put things away. Because I still have my strength, it's just I'm a little wobbly. And here I am, talking to you guys. The one thing I've noticed in that hospital when I was gone that long is how much I appreciated a lot of you guys. I mean, when you're in that bed thinking you're going to die, you look back at all the progress you've done, and I was actually glad. Oh, sorry, my cat. Kitty. Oh, there you are. Come here. Come here. Come here. I know you miss me the most. So yeah, as I was saying, and look back at how much I've done and how much you guys done for me. I didn't want it to go that day. I didn't want it to leave. I didn't want it to leave you guys. I didn't want to make a final video in the hospital saying my final goodbyes. I wasn't ready. And I was glad I wasn't. But a lot have opened my eyes. I'm going to try to do more better things for me. I'm going to try more better things for you guys on my YouTube channel. I'm going to try. So if someday that does happen, I want you guys to try to remember me. I know I'm not part of your lives, but I just want to make sure you guys remember me pretty well. I just want to be like one of those guys that be like, you play in World of Tanks, and be like, hey, look, that's Fury's tank. And then you'd be like talking about, yeah, I remember Fury. He's the guy that helped me out getting my first tank. I miss him. And that means a lot to me, hearing that. I'm Fist of Fury, and I'm glad to be alive.